Hey everybody, and welcome to the year-end book review. There are so many great books that I've read this year or audiobooks. I think that was kind of my big takeaway this year. I got into a few audiobooks this year, which is really, really great because I do have a long drive to school most days. But also just like hearing books read, especially biographies, that are read by the actual author makes a huge difference on audiobooks. So I'm not like 100% sold on audiobooks, but hearing different books read by those actual people does make a huge world of difference. So overall this year though, I really enjoyed a lot of the books that I read. A lot of them are or were suggestions or things from book club. So I was really thankful for those of you that have submitted a few books. So let's, outside of the audiobook thing, let's dive in. So I think overall, I again had a lot of really great reviews, and I'll put in kind of where I ranked a few things, my top books that I actually ranked this year. But I definitely think I have two favorites for this year. The first one is Finding Me by Viola Davis. Like, holy cow, it's just an absolute gem of a book. I need Viola Davis to write like 75 more books. I just really enjoyed her giving a look into her life a little bit deeper than what we already knew. I think a lot of, especially at the beginning of the book when she's talking about her past, a lot of it she has shared before, or it is at least mildly common knowledge. But for her to delve deeper into the rest of her history up until this point was just really phenomenal, and I completely identified with so much that was in her story. So definitely top book, at least in terms of biographies. And I think my second is probably The Davenports. And The Davenports, I'm looking forward to the next book. I think it comes out next year. I have to check and follow up. There's a bunch of book series that I absolutely love that are like having like their third or fourth book come out next year, like real early next year. So I'm expecting to read those. But I think The Davenports is supposed to have a second book coming out, and so I'm very excited for that. But really just, I do read a lot of fiction. I read a lot of historical fiction too. And The Davenports took things in a different spin, and especially coming from this predominantly white-centered historic fiction world, with a lot of white authors, a lot of stories about white characters, and where the black characters play really kind of the low-level sidebar characters. The Davenports was great because it put a black family at the forefront. It put a wealthy black family at the forefront at the turn of the century, and just really well done. I have to give the author props on that. Just, it was so well done, and I thoroughly look forward to more from that author, but also just more in this series. And I hope that they get picked up for something. HBO, somebody pick it up. Like, I think it really could be a dope move to make that a series, movie, something. Because it's a set of stories that we don't get to hear about very often, so I would look forward to that. I think if I had to do like an honorable mention or something like that, it would probably there was so much that I read this year, but I think the honorable mention would probably have to go to Michelle Obama's The Light We Carry. Another kind of autobiographical, but really just sharing things as women, but also as women of color. It's something that is very important to me, and I really feel like that truly impacted just how I thought about myself in growing and developing myself as as a person, as a woman. Just really phenomenal book there as well. So those are my top three: Viola Davis, The Davenports, and The Light We Carry. It just really great books this year overall. So I've got tons of books. I was given books for Christmas, which I'm very excited about. And as I mentioned, there's several series that I've been reading, some of which I read this year, but they're going to have like the third or the fourth book come out next year, maybe the second. And so 2024 is going to have some book series I'm going to be able to wrap up, and I'm very excited about that. But also, as always, please continue to share books. I got to go back through my my 4th and 7th grade teacher, Miss Beasley. She sent me a bunch of books I haven't gotten to yet. They're on my list, but like I was thinking about it the other day, I was like literally not read anything she's recommended. So I'm gonna have to jump back in there and get a couple more books to fill out my recommendations. But I'm looking forward to continuing to read in 2024. I've kind of dubbed 2024 as there's more in store in 2024, because, you know, we always have to have a theme. But I'm really looking forward to like I said, reading more. I'm looking forward to continuing, hopefully, with the book club that I'm in. Excited to see the book club at school that all the kids are getting into. They're starting the Percy Jackson series when we get back, so I'm very excited about that because I've read it and I know it's great, and I'm really looking forward to them getting into it. Really just, you know, everyone out there, please continue to read books and read banned books. Read books that people are not necessarily going to enjoy because they're hard topics or whatever. There's just so much out there that we can learn from books, and I hope that everyone is really kind of jumping in and getting back to reading. It's also very good, coming from an educator perspective. It's very, very good, families, to be reading with your kids, whether that be, you know, reading a chapter at night, or, you know, just saying, hey, let's sit down, and instead of playing video games or watching a movie for an hour, read a book. I know that was something that my family did. We were at the library all the time on breaks and checking out books and things, and that's really where I got into reading, is just that it was encouraged. And so I'm really pushing for more families to get involved with their children in reading. And I can say that the more that you read as a family, the more connected you will be. I have seen it this year. Like I said, the kids at school started a book club, and they did the Hunger Games for the first semester, and the amount of families that have gotten into the Hunger Games is just amazing. I mean, parents were just as involved as the kids. They were super excited. They were getting upset the kids weren't reading fast enough. Like, the parents were like, yo, I'm already ahead. You've got to catch up. So I'm very excited to see where that goes with their next series. But really, just reading as a family is so important with your kids, even, you know, with your grandkids. If maybe their parents aren't into reading, read with your grandparents, you know, read with your aunts and uncles and cousins and whatever, and really institute a time for reading. It will definitely help kids just overall. Even if your kid is not a reading kid, like they don't want to read books, enforce it, because we are seeing some major disparities when we get to some of the higher grades because kids don't read. So really push it 10 minutes, 30 minutes a day, just to drop everything and read. And that's for the whole household. Not just, you know, hey, the kids are going to read and I'm going to, you know, do some cleaning or whatever. No, everybody in the house, drop everything and read for 30 minutes. It makes the world of difference for your kids and their worldview and their understanding, and make it something that they want to read. Don't say, hey, we're all going to read this book, unless you really want to, but make it something that's a choice for them, something that they would enjoy. Don't stop them from reading something. It's just such an important piece to growing up and learning. So looking forward to 2024. I hope that you all are enjoying these book reviews. I know we've gotten some new friends that have joined us Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, those of you that have subscribed. I know that a lot of you guys have come over from Cheshire's Top Cat, and I'm so glad that you guys have joined me as well. I know I am not as exciting. I don't edit as much as he does, but I really appreciate you supporting both of us, supporting our family. We just really enjoy putting out content for you guys, and we hope that that we can continue to do this. So, like I said, more in store in 24, and I will see you guys in the next book review, which will be after the new year. So, happy New Year, happy holiday, Merry Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, second day of Kwanzaa, and happy Hanukkah, happy Yule, blessed Yule, happy solstice. Solstice was warm this year. But whatever you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate, hopefully you're just having a time of reflection on the year and a plan for the new year. And don't be upset if you, didn't have something super fantastic happen for you. Getting through the year is fantastic. That is a feat in and of itself. There are a lot of people that started 2023 that did not end 2023. And so if your goal this year was to make it through the year, you made it. And I'm so proud of each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you. I'm so glad that you are all here with me on this journey. I will see you next year. Bye.